How's it going, guys? I'm CTM Amygdala, and welcome back to another Call of Duty Warzone video. Today I'm going to be hopping into a game of Plunder and showing you guys all around the brand new Verdansk 84 map and going over all the brand new points of interest and areas that have changed up. Some of them very drastically, like the stadium. And I'm going to kind of briefly go over the stuff that hasn't changed at all and maybe just like show the color changes that have come with it, because the whole entire map has gone like a color makeover. Like a lot of the blue buildings are now red, some of the green buildings are white and stuff like that, and then the grass is greener. There's a lot more trees around the map, so it's just kind of a whole around geography difference within the map. However, there's two brand new named locations, and then there's one that is a drastic makeover, which is going to be Quarry. And I'll go show you guys that in a second here. But if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to click that like button, and also don't forget to subscribe. So I'm going to go out to prison and start there and then kind of work my way around the map. And for the most part, prison is actually one of the only locations that is just completely unchanged when it comes to everything like color scheme and actual layout, as far as I'm aware. So I think it is a good place to start and initially go look around. And I'll also have a video going out in a couple of days talking about the new meta for Warzone, as the FFAR is still top tier. However, I do not think it is the best close range weapon anymore, so I'll definitely be talking about that. Whereas I do actually think the AMAX is going to be the best long range gun that's fully auto. Because as we all know, the car is still top dog, the car hasn't been touched, so that thing is still going to reign supreme for like snipers and stuff. However, if you're more in a full auto, I definitely recommend the AMAX or the Krig now. So this looks all the same. There's some new flags up there and stuff. So it looks like for the most part, not even for the most part, so it looks like the gulag, or the prison, is essentially just completely unchanged. So there's nothing really new here. But now I'm going to start making my way around the map and showing you guys the new areas. So as we can see, this middle part right here is pretty much exactly the same as well. So I'm going to get the plane. And next I'm going to make my way out to port. So as we can tell, the shipwreck's gone, and this gas station looks a little bit different, so I'm actually going to go check that out first. So this looks like a ticket booth, actually. So that's interesting. Let me go check out the interior. So the interiors are pretty much exactly the same as they previously were for these. Nice and self-res. And as we can see, the blue building is now red. And this is all exactly the same layout-wise. There's just a little bit of color schemes. Like this is red and looks a little bit newer. Let's see. Everything's just a little bit brighter. This building's brighter. But overall, nothing changed layout-wise with port. So now I'm going to go into park, which did get a pretty noticeable change here. We can tell this building is now white with an olive roof. And there's a little bit of a like pond or swamp here, which I'm actually going to go check out a little bit. So yeah, so it looks pretty shallow, nothing too crazy. Well, and then we can also see that the grass is a lot greener. It's a lot more vibrant. And then there's still water in the middle of that. And then it looks like this is new. So it's a new little place for loot there. And then here we've got the statue replaced with just some like boxes and stuff. And a tower. And I did go in and check the park bunker in regular matches yesterday, once the thing dropped originally. And as we can tell here, there's no longer a keypad. You can no longer actually go down there. So now I'm going to move into Promenade. This building's a little bit different. The fire station has gotten a new like color coat to it. It's a little bit more red. A lot of these buildings are just a little bit more vibrant. These red buildings are now green, all of them. Bank's essentially the same. And overall, everything just looks a lot newer. Except for this building. This building is still under construction. And I do remember this one. Now I'm being... Oh, wow. So yeah, so there's construction going on there. These buildings all look pretty much the same. Now I'm going to go check out the other side of Promenade. So as we can see here, going through it, it's all just color changes. However, if we come up here, that's all just color changes too, according to the patch notes. Same for the little block of houses back here. All just color changes. The houses back here look a little bit nicer and stuff. And then up here, where the missile silo was, now we've just got a, how it originally was, but without the statue. And then we've actually got a little new set of cabins and stuff back here, like offices and boxes and stuff. And in standard modes, there can be a chest spawn here. There's one in this room. And you can get a couple in this building, which there aren't right now. And I know all this because I have landed here in solo matches. And I believe one can spawn somewhere in here. And if we keep going, that is all the same down there. This is just a little bit more like open dirt rather than the two buildings that used to be there. However, construction has changed a lot. So construction is now a like small farmland. So we got the main barn that has the exact same layouts as the ones in Farmland. We've got a little cabin which has the same layout as the ones in Farmland as well. And then we have that little shed over there. So I'm going to actually just kind of show you guys what I'm talking about with the similar layout as the ones in Farmland. So as we can see, it's got the 3 rooms on the front, the entrance here, and then the attic like this. And then I'm sure you guys know what the barn layout is like. I don't really need to go explain that. The only difference with this, whoops, is that there is a ladder that takes you straight to the 2nd story on this one. And then you can just go in here and it's exactly the same. Now I'm going to get into Boneyard, which is exactly the same layout-wise. All we can see here is that it is a lot greener, and there are now a lot of trees and stuff. But the layout is going to be exactly the same. Same for this area out here. It's a lot greener. There's some pink trees and stuff, but it's all exactly the same layout-wise. The bunkers and stuff are still there. This area just has a color change. Now for Storage Town, this area looks a lot more open, but once again, nothing has really changed. And then now I'm going to go over into Airport, which is one of the areas that has changed quite a bit. The parking garage is the same. However, you can now skydive through the roof right there. And if we come down, we see the runway is a lot more open. And there's no longer a plane that you can board. That area right here has all been completely cut off. So I'm going to go in and check out the interior of Airport and just hope I don't die. So as we can see, everything's a lot nicer and more clean. We've still got this whole underground area.
Hostiles dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
I think that guy's above me. So this is all just a lot nicer, more clean. Nothing's really destroyed and stuff. We've got the whole underground area with like the conveyor belts. And then the storage area. And and the only difference to the storage area is that it no longer leads straight to the second story. You're actually going to have to go all the way around through the conveyor belts and stuff to get up to the main area of the airport. So we can see with what I'm doing right now, just got to run all the way around. And then this will take you up to the main entrance area of the airport. And all the rooms are pretty much the same, everything's just a lot nicer. There's still the ladder there, but all that's kind of closed off now. This just takes you straight outside now. And then there's some new check-in areas. And you can actually get up to the second story right here by jumping up that, and that's going to be the only way to your top unless you crash through the roof. Which, as you can see, you can actually break the roof and come down that way now. Same for the hangars over there and stuff. Police station, Peach, all that's going to be the same. However, as we can see, Superstore got a brand new tint to it. It's now gray instead of blue. And the back window is a lot smaller. So I'm just going to land that there. And hope nobody's in here. So this whole part right here that was under a roof is gone. And Superstore is actually a lot more open now. And there's actually like aisles and stuff that you can go down, so everything's a lot more open in Superstore. And I heard that this room over here is a little bit bigger, I believe. I don't know, I can't tell. It might be, I'm not too sure though. Or we can loop all the way around. And we can see, once again, everything's just a lot more open.
Enemy UAV overhead.
The aisles are a lot more structured now. More places you can kind of flank through and stuff. So that's a pretty cool change to Superstore. It's actually not that bad. Everything's a lot more open, and it also looks a lot nicer. It's not all like run down and stuff. We got the bathrooms that take us into the back area. And this is brand new right here. This room was not here before. And then I'm gonna go up to the top. All that in there is the same. I've already checked that out before. However, up top, we do have one small change. As we can see, the pyramids are gone. And with these, you can actually break through them and fall straight down into the Superstore. You have to shoot them though. Then you can just drop down. And off to the next area, which is going to be our first brand new one called Factory. And this is essentially an airplane factory. As we can see, we have the main airplane in the middle, a little like water pump area, the hangar, more like water treatment places, a little building, and then we've got the main airplane hangars right here as well. So I'm gonna go looking at these back here. And as we can tell, this is going to be a very big and likely popular point of interest with a lot of loot and stuff. So you can see we got airplane manufacturing going on in this one, as well as on this side. So those are some of the new areas for the factory. And then we've got like an office building right in front of us. Over here we've got the same towers. All this is unchanged except for there's a new building right here where the camps were. And then This area's all the same. We've still got the cemetery that's just a lot more green. Still got that apartment building, firehouse. And then train station is also unchanged, other than the fact that it is now blue instead of yellow. However, the interior is all still there. Layout's exactly the same. I don't really need to go in. You guys all know what it looks like. There's a little bit more of a direct stairwell up rather than like having to climb stuff. And then last thing I'm gonna do is go check out the hospital, which once again is exactly the same. There's nothing new here, just some color scheme changes for like the building back here. The layouts are gonna be exactly the same though. Alright guys, so we've got part 2. So first we're going to be starting with downtown, and the only thing that's different here is this building is actually still under construction. As we can see, the top 3 levels all have openings to them and stuff. There's a guy just hiding in there. But everything else to downtown is exactly the same, so I'm going to make my way over to Farmland, which actually has another small change to it. We've got like a new kind of like citadel looking thing, and sadly it looks like there's a team there, so I'm not really going to go inside because I'm probably just going to die. However, this is supposed to be a remake of Standoff from Black Ops 2. So some of the buildings around it have changed a little bit as well, and now I'm going to get out of there before I die. Or I'm just going to die. But here we have lumber, and lumber is actually exactly the same other than some color changes. So there's nothing to really show here. I'll just kind of take a quick drive through it. So as we can see, the layout for lumber is exactly the same as it used to be. All these side houses over here are exactly the same as well. Except a pretty big one is going to be quarry. And all this over here is going to be the same as well. Right here we've got a new area called Array. And this is essentially the Duga Tower. And it includes all these buildings down here.
Standing by. Mark an LZ for pickup.
So as we can see, it's pretty much the same thing aside from this building right here, which is actually pretty big. It's like a little bunker. And then we've got the actual radio tower out back. So this is all part of the new location as well. And as we can see over here, there's actually a ladder so we can actually get up on top of this thing. Alright, so you got the blue building turned red over there. And then, so as we can see here, the salt mines are actually like all red and stuff. So there's like these red pools. And they don't actually do any damage to us or anything. However, the actual layout, like the buildings and stuff, is all exactly the same. There's just these piles of salt and stuff here now. And then the building that was here, there was a building right here. However, now it's all just like these salt things instead. We've got these buildings still, however. I believe there's buildings over here that we can actually go in now that we couldn't before. So like this one right here, we can actually go in here now. You can actually go inside of this one as well now, also. So you can see right here. So that's a little bit more loot for this area, which is nice. And then The interesting thing is this is as far back as it goes. So I'm sure we all remember this building and then all this back here. This was all where that really big red building was and all the, like, mining and stuff, the pit. The whole entire pit area is now this. So as we can see, there's a whole bunch of woodland back here now. That's going to be great for, like, end games and people sniping and stuff. And just all around good if you want to get late into the game. You can just kind of post up back there. And then we've also got minecarts and stuff. And I'm thinking this is actually going to open up later in the season. And I'll try and go look inside of it, but I do know that it's blocked off. So as we can see, it's all blocked off for now, but I'm thinking these are going to open up later in the season. So as we can see from the overhead, actually this is all new over here. There's some new bunkers and stuff. And then a new bunker on that side as well. However, it's mostly unchanged. So I actually didn't know that. I guess I will go look at TV station to see what's changed there, just in case I missed anything my first time around. So this is quite literally the only thing that has changed about TV station. There's a new array on top of it. I just ran through the interior and it is all exactly the same as it used to be, as we can see from the top here. And lastly, we've got to go check out the brand new point of interest that has replaced Dam called Summit. And then there's a little mining village over here that Activision has also said they will be unlocking the mines for that later in the season. So we can actually go down into the mine shafts there. And they didn't say specifically that we're going to be getting into the mine shafts for the salt mines. However, if we're going into the mine shafts for the actual mining town, I'm assuming they can just reuse those assets to open up the mines where the salt mine is. So that's going to be pretty cool. So I'm actually going to run through all the little buildings here. So this is the mine shaft that's going to be opening up later in the season. Got a box in here. It's pretty nice. We've got people behind me. I think they were on the train. I don't really want to die. I'd like to check the rest of this out, so... And then besides that building, we have this up here, which is going to be the main minecart area, or the main building. And this has a whole lower and upper area to it, as we can see if we walk around. And there's another building up here that we can get inside of. So sometimes there's like a box or loot in there. And then we've got the upper portion of the main building. So this is just a little unnamed location, but it definitely has enough loot to suit, I'd say, 2 people. I'd say this would be a good duo landing spot. And it's definitely a good place to hold out at the end of the match. And then besides that, you can also get all the way up. And this area is probably going to become even bigger, possibly even a named location once they open up the mines underneath it. So I definitely hear... Oh, there it is.